Salve, and this is PTSD Manga recap review for chapters 28 and 29 of Tokyo Demon Bride, and this is going to be the final one, basically. Well, we'll go through it. So chapter 28, Tokyo Demon Bride story is Dreamlike Days. So this tells the story of the Princess Korobiru No Jinya. Every 800 years it rises, the Tower of Sin was destroyed, and all these spirits have been escaping. And this was the story that was told by Mistress Ranka to Sir Jinta as to why she was worried. So we're going to go through the thing.
Enveloped in a cloud of black smoke, it fell instantly in one night. Residents of the area reported that at the top of the crumbling tower, they saw a mysterious spirit. Veiled by black shadows, the mysterious spirit and the prisoners of the tower known as the Tazushi vanished completely, and that means the Tower of Sin, the Tatsuchi. And recently have been sightings of these Takashi all over the human world, and the Sashi of the human world have confirmed sightings of the mystery spirit. In order to identify the mystery spirit and its goal, we've scoured ancient texts and found one legend that matches up.
Ooh, it looks like a constellation.
Once every several hundred years, the mysterious spirit reawakens from his prison deep underground. The immortal spirit is bent on devouring the entire human world and is known as Princess Korobiru No Jinya. This is a lot like the Tarrasque, for those that know Dungeons and Dragons, where it like rise up from its slumber and it's immortal, you can't get rid of it. They say she appeared once, 800 years ago, and the human world was nearly destroyed. Well, how did they survive? If she's immortal, there's no way to destroy her, right?
There's more to the legend. So basically, more to the legend is the Homoru Naji, that one that you see in that picture in the start of the story, is able to essentially trap it underground. And this is how the chapter basically starts, like later on. So he's like,
I'm glad I escaped from that tower. The smell, it's the smell of the sacred blood.
So this is not the final enemy. This is just like another enemy, and you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So they were on a train, they were trying to go like to the school, like now all the spirits are in the school, like Manaka's in the school, Kaido's in the school, the Tanuki, Chinzei, Tanuki, the raccoon dog is in the school with them, and basically it's like, you know, they're like, well, how did the spirits manage to get in the school? They're like, birth certificates, what are birth certificates? So Kaido used like their magic and stuff, so Manaka got to be in the school and everything, so this chapter kind of goes through how things go in the ordinary world, and like the important things are like right in front of you, and you don't realize it until they're gone and stuff like that. So that was chapter 28, Dreamlike Days. Then we got into Ordinary Days, and this is pretty cool because like he didn't want to remember certain things, and then the next thing he knows, he's like knocked into the thing. What's cool is like here he is knocked into the water, and here Manaka, unlike One Piece, somehow Manaka can swim. She's still not good at swimming, but like what's cool is like he saved her when she was the child, and now she's saving him. She's learned to swim, she's learned to do things she couldn't, like, you know, stuff like that, like, you know, she's gaining, she's becoming a woman. So he saved her twice. So she goes on to mention that like she was resolved that she was going to leave because he couldn't remember anything and stuff like that, you know, but then like when he saved her like from drowning again, like she decided to stay, and he's like, I'm sorry Manaka that I couldn't remember stuff like this and that, but let's go through like what he was saying, like,
I don't want to remember that stuff, and I feel into the ocean. Uh-oh, I haven't been breathing. Everything's getting hazy. Am I going to die?
Manaka. Basically, there's really not much to say. So then you can see Tanuki Chinzei, the Tanuki. She followed them. It's like, hey, I thought we were friends. Why didn't you invite us to dinner? And Kaido also followed them. It's like, don't tell me you can't handle this wimpy thing. Jinta, isn't it about time you ditch Manaka for me? So then Manaka goes through like another thing where she's like, hey man, blah blah blah. So you can see that he's got like allies, and he was telling her like, hey, you know, like Manaka, like I'm not that strong. If it comes, run, save yourself, kind of thing. But so what can you do? And Manaka's like, hey, you've made new friends with like the Nico cat girl, as they call her, the Rakshasa, Myaako and Keroru, and like at the end of the chapter, Keroru shows up with the cousins for like an all-you-can-eat buffet. So it has like a bit of a nice ending. But the main boss doesn't come, so maybe this thing will get like another continuance or so. So what really bothers me is that Shonen Jump is such scumbags. They couldn't let this go 30 chapters, they couldn't let this go 33 chapters. You can't give me like one more chapter. I think one more chapter would have resolved a lot of things, would have been a little bit more. Would have been nice to have a little more Myaako in this chapter. Like another chapter would have been nice. Some people think the chapter prior to this would have been like a nice way to conclude things. You can kind of see though, like you kind of knew they were going to be together, how they all like holding the hands and stuff. So, you know, you can kind of see they were going to be together. And here's the volume 1 release that's never going to come. There's no way Viz Media is going to release this, but you can see that was kind of like a cute little volume release. Her and Jinta now. I think Manaka is a pretty good character, Myaako is a good character, Keroru is popular because like, flurp, flurp, that's the sound of a drain, flurp, flurp, that's the sound of the drain, flurp, flurp, that's the sound of the drain. So the Keroru, she was pretty popular, she had a bit of a following. So Jinta was alright, maybe they could have flushed him out a little bit more. He was a little bit like a generic Levi from Attack on Titan. His sister, the older sister, Matsuri, she had a lot of potential. If they could have flushed her out a little bit, maybe that would have helped. I think Shumuji was alright. You know, they didn't do too much with her, but they didn't really have to. I'm thinking if this got like a continuance, like if it returned at some point, because you could still have the spirits trying to get out of them. They could be in like their mid-20s. His two sisters could be like married off or like in different relationships. And he could be living with Manaka or something like that, or they could be in their early 20s, they could have a bunch of spirits living there, and you know, there's a lot of ways they could go, but it ends like a little open-ended, so I don't know if that means that they're going to get like another thing one day. I don't see why it doesn't go on digital. It's better than Marshall, it's vastly better than Undead Unluck, which is just garbage. Manaka, any character in this is better than any of those, and it's like, I don't get it. Anything I like, it's canceled. So I mean, I remember I cried when it was still going on. I was so happy, and then like they got it canceled and screw it out on me. The biggest problem was it's Tokyo Demon Bride story. Maybe it was like Oni Demon Bride or something. The name is too long. There's too many syllables too. It's like Tokyo Demon Bride story. And it's like Demon Slayer, Black Clover, My Hero Academia, MHA. You know, like Chainsaw Man. You need names that are a little bit shorter. You can't have like 24 characters in the name. So like the Tokyo Demon Bride went almost 30 chapters, you know, whatever. I wish it went a little longer. I wish it made 30. It made 30 chapters, but if it got a physical release, I'd be mostly satisfied because the story's fine. The last few chapters with Mistress Ranka were pretty good. You know, it was like intense. People were worried that Sir Jinta was going to perish this chapter, that he was going to, you know, so like there were definitely some stakes where you felt invested. It's a rom-com, but it's like everything I like gets canceled. So yeah, Tokyo Demon Bride, and I'm really glad that this went at least almost 30 chapters. Tadaichi Nakama, and hopefully it'll continue one day.